Hello and welcome to today's video where I'm going to be chatting about some of the new makeup releases. I haven't done this in about 5 weeks, so let's just get straight into it and see what is new. The first new product that I can see on Trend Mood is the new Pat McGrath Skin Fetish Glass 001 Legendary Glow Setting Spray for a glass skin finish. A hydrating weightless formula that locks makeup in place for 16 hours while maintaining colour vibrancy all day. $38. It has the same packaging as the face mask that she released a little while ago. The visuals show the difference between no layers and then 1 layer and then 5 layers, and it's meant to like give this really reflective skin. This isn't something that hugely appeals to me. It's kind of seems to me to be kind of like a makeup artist kind of editorial style product, similar to the mask that she released earlier this year. Yeah, it's not something that I'm going to be looking for. I don't even know if I'd necessarily say I'm interested in knowing what people think of it or the reviews of it. I've mentioned it before, but Pat McGrath is not a brand that really speaks to me anymore. It used to be a brand that I was so interested in. It's just not anymore, and this is not the kind of product that I would personally want. I mean, I do think that it looks nice, but I think in the photograph where it shows the 5 layers, I'm not sure what everyday consumer is going to want their skin to look like that. Maybe some people would, but yeah, I mean, I suppose in one way I'm interested to see if the reality is the same as the actual images, and does it actually look like that on the skin. It's not something I'm going to seek out. It's not a brand that you know kind of floats my boat anymore. Oh, this is something that I am interested in, and it's probably purely for nostalgic reasons, and this is the new shades of the Lancôme Juicy Tubes, and it's like a kind of lavender latte, cocoa macchiato, and almond drip. So there are 3 new shades. There's like sparkly lavender shade, there is a kind of a sparkly brown, and then there is like a just kind of, I think, a regular brown. I do really like the Juicy Tubes. They're so glossy. The formula is definitely not as sticky as it was back in the day when they first launched it. I will say I don't hugely get the whole lavender coffee thing, but I think that the colours are nice together. I like the visuals of the lavender and the browns beside each other, but they're kind of a little bit, I don't know, I guess they kind of juxtapose a little bit, and maybe that's why I like it, but I also kind of don't get it. But it looks nice, and it's definitely something that I would be interested in because I know I really like that formula. I don't have a gloss in that shade. I don't really have a brown like that either. Again, something I probably want to see reviews on to see what they're like. I know they're doing like a what is it called, the Dollhouse in New York at the moment, where they have like Olivia Rodrigo, I think, is the brand ambassador for that campaign. They were doing this campaign on social media where they were getting actors who were in shows that were out at the time that this was popular, like the early 2000s, and they were kind of getting them to do like ads, which I thought was quite good marketing because it kind of was something different. I suppose it's such an iconic product that they kind of had to do something like that, but I thought it was quite good marketing, and it kind of made me stop and watch the videos because I was like, oh, I watched the OC, I watched whatever, I can't remember who else was on it, other people from like the early 2000s, so that was funny. This is the new Glossier Lip Glaze Cooling Creamy Lip Oil. A refreshing sheer glaze of colour and lightweight non-sticky shine with a nourishing formula that melts instantly on the lips, delivering long-lasting care and up to 12 hours hydration for smoother looking lips. $22, and it comes in 6 shades. And I'm fairly sure all the comments on this were about how they literally all look the same. And if you go to the image where it has the lip swatches, it really kind of makes me laugh because they genuinely look the same. Like there's like a very slight depth to maybe like the first one and the last one, like there's a bit of a difference, but they really look so similar. They just, it doesn't look like there's much of a tint at all On the arm swatches, they definitely look like they have more pigment than they do on your lips, but like, say for somebody who like me, I have quite naturally pigmented lips, so a product like this is not going to really show up in its true form on my lips. I mean, I don't mind a sheer product, I don't mind a clear gloss, but I'm not going to go and say, oh, I need like 2 colors in this, because they're all going to look the same on my lips. I kind of feel like this is 2, 3, 4 years too late. I think they could have come up with this a couple of years ago. They obviously have their lip gloss, their clear lip gloss, that comes in a few different shades, and I really like that, but I feel like this is something that they could have brought out a couple of years ago and it probably would have done better, but there's just not enough of a difference in the shades for this to be an exciting release for me. I mean, I've probably mentioned it in every new release video, but Glossier is again another brand that I loved. I mean, I still really like some of their products, but I just feel like they've kind of just been giving nothing. And like a little bit like Pat McGrath, it's just one of those brands that I used to be so into everything that they released. I was so curious to see what they were going to come up with next, but I'm just a little bit bored now. Like, their prices have gone up so much, it just doesn't seem worth it to me. So it's not that's not an exciting launch to me at all. I have not seen one person review these. Out of everybody that I follow, I have not seen one person review these. I haven't seen anybody even mention them. Maybe I've missed it, but I haven't seen anybody talk about them or say that they're excited by them or anything like that. So I think that kind of says it all. I think the packaging is nice, they look cute, but it's just not, yeah, it's giving nothing to me. This is something that I saw somebody mentioning, and it's the customizable ambient lighting quads from Hourglass. So you can now go and choose whatever shades you want in like powder, blush, bronzer, highlighter, all that kind of stuff. I've mentioned the Hourglass palettes a few times in these videos, and it's never been something that's appealed to me because I just feel like you're always going to have a shade that you're not going to use really. They're so expensive that you would really want to love every shade in them, and there's never been one where all of the shades have been what I would want. I really like the idea of being able to customize it and pick the 4 shades that I would want, that I feel like would work for my skin tone. That's the reason that I'm kind of interested in this. $78. I don't know if that's the same price as the normal like pre-made ones, but it's definitely something that I would be interested in. I know that people really love these formulas and I haven't tried them. This would be like the reason for me to try a product like this. When my no buy is over, I'm gonna probably do a low buy, or I might keep doing a no buy, but I was thinking about like the kind of products that I would like to review, and to me this seems like something where I would really like to review this. I'd like to choose my own shades and see if they work for me and is it worth it. Because obviously it's an expensive product, but I suppose if you break it down per powder, it's probably, you know, good value in a sense if you were, you know, to buy them separately. Like, I'm not going to go and buy 4 separate shades, but I could maybe buy a bronzer, a highlighter, and then like 2 blushes, or like a blush and a finishing powder. So it's definitely something that I am thinking about possibly buying for a review once I finish my no buy, because I'm genuinely curious about this. And I don't think I've seen anyone review this. Like, I would actually love to do a video where I go through the Hourglass website and kind of go through all the shades and make my selections, and then like review it when it gets here and apply it on camera and have the whole process from start to finish. I think that would be a really like interesting video, and I would like to watch something like that. So that is something that I'm considering. And I think that this is like a permanent, oh, it's US only. Okay, well, I'm sure it will come here. Hopefully it will come here. And maybe by the time my no buy is over, it will be available in Europe and I can do this, because I think it would be a really interesting video to make. So if you have tried this, please let me know. If you have any of the shades, if you have any of the quads, if there are shades you think that I would like that would work for my skin tone, please let me know, because it's not something I'm hugely familiar with. I kind of tend to just ignore all the Hourglass palettes because I'm not like a big face palette person, but I would like to try it and I do think it is a really good idea. So yeah, that's definitely something that I'm interested in. There's a new E.L.F base product. It's the Halo Glow Skin Tint Mineral Broad Spectrum SPF 50. This comes in 18 shades. There seems to be a really good distribution of shades, which is always nice to see. It sounds like something I would like in that it's like a lightweight skin tint. Obviously the SPF is an added bonus. It says water resistant 80 minutes. Okay, so I guess it's more of an SPF type product. I haven't seen any reviews of this. I tend to quite like E.L.F products, so that is definitely something I'm interested in seeing what people think about it. So I'll be keeping an eye out for that one. If you have tried it, please let me know. This is a product that I saw last week, and it is, I don't think there's any like professional photos of it yet. It's all kind of like behind the scenes pictures. There are going to be 2 new Isamaya palettes. There is one with silver packaging and one with gold packaging. I saw somebody saying that they look like an emesis basin, and they kind of do. It obviously fits in with the whole medical clinical aesthetic of the brand now. They kind of look like quite similar, I would say, the palettes. Like they both have kind of like blues, purples, golds, bronzes, and kind of sheer colors. There's like a couple of darker shades, a mixture of metallics and shimmers and that kind of thing. I have the first industrial palette. I love it. It's one of my favorite palettes. I know that some of the shades in these palettes are shades that were in the 2 industrial palettes. I'm not sure about the Wild Star, but I know that there are 2 color stories. So I think the gold one looks like it has more of the shades from the Industrial 1 palette. Then there's a couple of purples and a blue as well. So that looks like it's more similar to the Industrial palette. And then the silver one looks more like the Industrial 2. So if I was to get one of them, I'd probably be more interested in the silver one because I already have the Industrial palette. Now it's 3 years old, but it's still fine. I still use it and it still performs well. So this is something that I am interested in because I know I love the Industrial palette. I know that I love the formula, and I really wish I had gotten the Industrial too. She has repeated some of the shades. So I am definitely curious to see how similar they are to the original Industrial palettes and what the crossover of shades are, and if the formula is the same. Probably not going to buy them, but I will be looking out for reviews and swatches and kind of comparisons between those palettes and the new ones, because, or the old ones, because I think that would be really interesting, and it's something that I love the look of. Because I love my Industrial 1 palette, I'm not going to go and buy the one that's the same as that, but I do like the look of the silver one because I think that's a lot of the shades from the Industrial 2, and I really was raging that I didn't buy that one because it kind of like sold out and never came back. So yeah, that's definitely something that I'm interested in. I'm looking forward to seeing more of that, but again, they're probably going to be expensive and it's just not something that I need. So I will be waiting to see reviews and to see what people think. Okay, this is one that I hadn't seen before, and this is the YSL All Hours Glow Foundation. So I know that they have their All Hours foundation, which is more of a long wear soft matte finish, and this is a lightweight luminous foundation inspired by YSL iconic transparent makeup from 1968, designed to mimic the feel of a haute couture tulle veil. Second Skin radiant finish, oil control, hydrating, hyaluronic acid and niacinamide. Definitely looks more like my kind of thing than the All Hours foundation, which was probably a bit too matte for me. So again, I'll be interested in seeing reviews of that. I do tend to quite like the YSL base products, but I have so many base products, so it's not something I'm going to be like going and getting a sample of to buy, but I will look out for reviews because I am curious to see what people think. NYX's first liquid dewy blush with a buildable formula, blendable texture and juicy hydration. Ooh, I like the sound of the formula, but all of the shades look very kind of on the nose. Papaya Plump, Fig Fizz, Guava Gush. Like they're just all very fruity, very kind of, yeah. They do look nice on, but again, I suppose with drugstore you're not ever going to get much nuance with the colours. That purple one looks nice. It's kind of something a bit different. So again, I will look out for reviews of these, but none of the shades are anything that I would really be interested in. It's nothing I haven't seen already, so not really hugely interested. New Rhode Glazing Mist goes viral. Is that out? It hasn't even launched yet. It So it is called the Glazing Mist. I think it's meant to be like quite hydrating. I saw Kirby Johnson talking about it and she said it was kind of nearly like a slugging product. Like she put it on at the end of her skincare routine and she kind of sprayed it on her hand and it did look really nice. While I did like the Rhode, whatever, I can't remember the skin product that I tried, it was the serum. I've just kind of, I don't know, I feel like any brand where I've been burned slightly, like with the lip, whatever they're called, and their graininess, and I had to get a refund, it just wasn't really, I just feel like there are so many brands now, like where if I have a bad experience and there's so much else to kind of choose from, I'm probably not going to go and order from that brand again. I have mists that I love from like Korean beauty brands. I don't know, I feel like Rhode is kind of overpriced. I'll look out for reviews of it. Obviously it's probably going to like sell out again, like all of their products sell out, but yeah, not something that I'm like gonna rush out and buy. There is the new Victoria Beckham summer collection. They have the new shade of the Satin Kajal liner in the shade, I think it's Terracotta. They also have the Posh Balm in the shade Canal, which is a sheer tan apricot. It's not a colour I'm mad about, it's quite a warm, kind of a mustardy, warm, orangey terracotta, I suppose. But it just wasn't really interesting me. What else have we got? One of the new products that I actually have on my lips is the E.L.F Lip Nectar, and I have, this is the shade Fetish, so I'll just apply a bit more. This is a hydrating lip stain and it is made in South Korea, as you would imagine, because it's that kind of like K-beauty style formula. They sent me the 4 shades, so that is going to be an upcoming video. I will do a full review of them. I have a bunch of the Korean beauty brands glossy lip stains, and I wanted to do a video kind of comparing them because obviously these are a lot more expensive. They're €34. The K-beauty ones are usually like a third of that price or even less. So I just wanted to do a video reviewing them, so that is going to be upcoming. I do have some application videos on my Instagram shorts if you want to see those, but yeah, I love them so far. I obviously love this kind of product, they're gorgeous, but I just want to kind of do a video and see like, are they worth kind of the extra bit of money? Yeah, that is Fetish. Really nice shade, gorgeous formula. Half Magic have just released a couple of new mascaras in their electric tubing mascara range. They have a kind of a violet shade and then a brown. Definitely curious about both shades because I love violet as a colour and I love brown mascara as well. I love a tubing mascara. I'm curious to see what these are like because I usually find tubing mascaras can be hit or miss. Sometimes they're just not very voluminous, so I haven't actually tried this formula. It's one that I would like to try, but I haven't yet. But I do really like the look of those shades, so I'm gonna have a look at the reviews of those and see if there's something that I could possibly buy to try out, because I know that a lot of people like tubing mascaras and a lot of people like a brown mascara, so I think it would be nice to try those out the next time I'm in the market for a mascara. I thought these looked really nice. It's the brand Soi Beauty, I think that's how you say it. I don't really know much about this brand, but they're kind of slightly on my radar, and I saw they released these blushes called the Blurring Pillow Blush. A blush that blends like a cream, blurs like a filter, and lasts like a powder, packed with skin-loving ingredients. There are 4 shades, and I really liked the look of the shade Rosy Rest. It's kind of like this beige pink, and I just thought it looked really nice. And then they have a couple of other shades, and I just thought that the images were really nice and how they looked on the model's skin. Just lovely colours, kind of nice nuanced shades. Like there's something a little bit more to them than say like the likes of those NYX ones where they're all these really bright fruity shades. These are kind of a little bit more, I don't know, true to life or a little bit more realistic. I really liked the look of those, so I would be curious to see what people think of those. I don't know if that brand is actually available in Europe. I must have a look, but just because it's kind of like a newish brand and it's one that I haven't really heard much about, I just thought that these look lovely. The packaging looks nice and the texture as well. So that is something that I'm interested in hearing what people think. Another product that I really liked the look of, these are the Fara Homidi Beauty Essential Bronzer Compacts. There are 4 shades. you know, obviously you would like to see more shades. The thing that I really liked about this was that the palest shade is this kind of rosy beige. There doesn't look to be like any orange in it or yellow. It looks quite rosy. I'm really curious to see what that lightest shade actually looks like on fair skin, because most bronzers will just go warm on me. They'll just turn like orange or yellow on me. It's very hard to find one that actually looks like a natural color to me. So I'm really curious to see that. The compact is lovely and the texture looks really nice. It's a bronzing powder with a cream-like feel. Lumi Matte Soft Suede, first of its kind, lightweight and lustrous bronzer with a soft matte finish that melts seamlessly into the complexion. So it's another brand that I would really like to try, but the products are quite expensive. Like, this is $78 for this bronzer. So it's not something, again, that I'm just going to try on a whim. Very curious, purely because of that pale shade and how it looks like something that would actually work on my skin, as opposed to most bronzers which just don't. So that is one that I am going to be eagerly awaiting reviews on. This is one again that I'm really interested in, and it is the Sheen Effect Gorgeous Summer Collection Magic Chameleon eyeshadow. This is a brand that I've really wanted to try. They have this shade that, I can't remember what it's called. It's like this bluey pink duochrome. Looks incredible. I think they had it on Yes Style. But when I saw these new shades, I was like, oh my god, they are so amazing looking. Like, they look so shiny. There are 5 shades. Ideal Type, Answer, Summer, Momo, Tea, Spring is Here, and Puff. But they just look amazing. And, you know, I'm always interested in trying new like Asian beauty brands. So I'm very curious about that because they look so nice. I'm definitely going to keep an eye out for anyone possibly reviewing those because they just look amazing. You just always get me with a sparkly eyeshadow. I'm just like such a sucker for a sparkly eyeshadow. This is another Pat McGrath release, and it is the Legendary Longwear Lip Pencil. Limitless wear, designed for flawless precision, weightless, high impact. Looks like a kind of a gel formula. Yeah, there's some interesting shades. There's like it's like a blue. There does look like some nice cool toned shades, nice sculpting shades. But again, it's not something that I'm going to be looking to buy. They're $29. Again, I'd have to see reviews of these, and like if the shade was right, it might be something I would consider. But I have lip liners that I'm happy with, and you know, $29 for a lip liner, I just don't need to be spending that money. So unless it was like the perfect cool toned like sculpting shade for my skin tone, it's not something that I'm going to be really looking to buy. New E.L.F brow pen, which is called the Holy Strokes Microfine Brow Pen. I don't know, Holy Strokes, that kind of got me a little bit. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shades. I do like a brow pen. I am currently using the NYX Lift and Snatch, so if this had some good reviews or looked like it would be a good one, I might buy this to replace that. Like $7, so I'll keep an eye out. The E.L.F products always take so long to come to Europe when you see them in the US, so this probably won't be out here for a while, but I will be interested to see reviews of this because I'm always looking for a good brow pen, and it's cheaper than the NYX one, so if it works better or the same, I could buy that one instead. That's all I'm going to talk about today because I don't want this video to be too long, and also I kind of talked about everything I wanted to. Like, there was a lot more there, but it's all just very samey, very kind of boring. A lot of IP, a lot of limited edition brands that just don't really interest me, and I'm not going to buy from, so I don't really want to bother talking about them. I'd say the most interesting ones to me are probably the Fara Homidi bronzer, those Soshe blushes, those kind of products are what are kind of interesting me at the moment. You know, more independent brands, products that kind of have more interesting shades, more interesting formulas. I'm kind of more interested in the kind of Asian beauty brands, like the Chinese beauty brands, the Korean beauty brands. I'm more interested in those kind of products because I just find them more exciting and they just tend to be more ahead of the game and more interesting. So those are the ones that I'm personally interested in. But again, I'm still on my no buy, so none of these are things that I'm going to be buying myself. But yeah, my no buy is actually finished at the end of this month, so I will be doing a video at the end of June and talking about, or like the end of June, beginning of July, and talking about that experience. and I'll also be having empties video then. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please give me a little thumbs up, leave me a comment and let me know if you have tried any of these products or if any of them are on your wish list to try. I would love to know, and I will see you next week with another video.